Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we are back here once again with another build video. And today's speed build was a speed build that I did, or build, not a speed build, but it's the same difference. I did specifically for Lilsimsie's most recent shell challenge. She just wanted to do a quick little small shell situation, I believe, for right before the new pack came out. I did not finish this or complete this in time for like the original shell like challenge timeline and everything. I literally started, I think, like the day before or day after it was essentially like due for her to do the tours and stuff, but I was working anyways, so I wasn't even able to watch the live. Well, actually, I was off work by the middle of her life. Not that that matters. But anyways, I just did it for fun. I didn't do it so that she could tour the shell or anything like that. And also I did it because it was a small shell. And I feel like I've been doing like more medium size, bigger homes as far as the speed builds that I've been doing recently. I guess the werewolf one wasn't really that big of a house, but I just feel like what I've been doing like more complicated builds, at least in my opinion. More builds, I should say, that are outside of my comfort zone, so it makes it harder for me to do and it takes me more time to do. So I figured that I would just do this one as like a quick little thing. I think it still took me like over 2 hours still, even though this is obviously clearly a very small house. And I did have like, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but I did like the idea of making one of the little rooms that kind of jut out in the back there into a little small greenhouse. And so I do eventually make one of them like that. But for the rest of the house, I really didn't know what to do, but I did figure that I most likely wouldn't be able to fit a full bed and bathroom if I wanted to obviously use some of that space to make a greenhouse. And honestly, even if I didn't do a greenhouse, I knew that it was going to be very difficult to fit in a full bathroom and a full bedroom where you could have like a double bed and everything. And I prefer to make most of my builds with double beds just because it makes more sense to me if you want to have as much gameplay as possible. So if your sim has a partner or anything like that, or if you do just have a sim, well, I guess if they have a partner in general, whatever, it just makes it more convenient. And also I have a double bed, like I have a queen size bed in my home, and I know that it's just so nice to have a whole bed to yourself and have as much space to spread out as much as you want. So, I just think it's more comfortable to have the best possible bed or the biggest possible bed that you can have. So I figured I said all of that because I knew that it was going to be a bit difficult to kind of fit all of that in what I wanted to have in this house. And I also obviously, for a lot of my builds, I've been trying to make sure that I include some sort of activities and things in the home for the Sims to be doing, whether it's like hobby related or career related, because I just think that's beneficial to the Sims. And so I will say I have no idea what this build ended up being as far as expense wise by the end of it, because I was just going with vibes. I was not paying attention at all on like budgeting or anything like that. So I'm sure it, for how small it is probably pretty pricey. But that's okay. It happens sometimes. And I did use quite a few packs too. I was not limiting myself. And that's like another reason why I kind of wanted to do it, because I figured it would be a nice build to not limit myself, since I had been doing a couple of builds so far where I have been like limiting my price range. Well, not my price range. I've been limiting my packs and whatnot. So It's been nice to be able to do that and whatnot. And I know last week I did not post any videos or anything like that. Like I said, the weeks have been blurring together and it's just been a bit busy just trying to get life and everything going along with finding time to not only film the videos but also edit them, because I do have a couple of videos that I already have filmed. It's just finding the time to edit them because I have other builds that I've been doing that need to be edited down, and I also have like at least one of the Let's Plays that I've filmed already, and that needs to be edited, and I do need to still find time to film more things and whatnot for my channel. And so it's just a bit overwhelming for me at the moment in time, but I'm hoping that I can get back on track and find, little pieces of time here and there to get back to being able to edit on a regular basis, because I like to try to edit like for like a good couple of hours at least once a week, and then like throughout the week just spending like a half an hour here or there editing down the videos, because that just it works out better for me that way. So throughout the week I don't get too overwhelmed with everything, but it's just finding that time. But I am actually really excited for the new pack. I don't know if I'm going to get it right away, just because I have been trying to do better just with not impulsively buying things all the time. But at the same time, obviously, I have been watching some of the reviews that a lot of other simmers and stuff are posting that have early access. But I also don't want to watch it to the point where like all of the like surprises and stuff gets revealed. So then I already know all of the cool features. I want to like also discover some of the cool features on my own, but I also obviously want to make sure that the pack is actually worth it before I buy it. But I'm actually working on a build right now that would be really good for the pack, where it's gonna have like a little store attached, and like also obviously a house and everything. So, and I have so many other ideas besides that other build too. That build will probably come out it could possibly come out this week, but it's probably not going to be out until next week, because again, I have to find time to finish the build and also edit it down while working and everything like that. So we shall see. But I've been just trying to work on having a better like routine and schedule for myself, but it's hard. Life is hard, and finding a good schedule is really hard as well. So I'm hoping that I can kind of just figure out a better schedule of what my day should look like after coming home from work and being able to like still do house stuff, and then also finding time to do Sims and everything, because I enjoy it a lot. It's just the time it takes is a lot, and sometimes I just don't have that time. So for the build, as you can see, I did use the pull down couch bed situation, whatever you call it, from Tiny Living, because like I said, I just figured that would be like the best case scenario with it being a complete like home, and also having a bathroom that's like a nice decent sized bathroom, and not just like a super small 3-tile bathroom that I could have done in order to fit such a small build. And also, just like I said, I don't really think that I could have a nice way of fitting in a like private bedroom situation with having the layout in the wall situation that is there. So I kind of decided that I wanted this sim to be kind of like a crafty sim of like maybe that is literally their job of like they do crafts like maybe like sell them on Etsy or something like kind of like that or Sims wise Plopsy. And so I gave them the little like crafty table that came with nifty knitting, and I had the little friendship bracelet from growing together. I added in the little cross stitch little thingies from cottage living, and I did off camera, I added in the like basket and boxes that you needed to do the knitting and the cross stitching. I kind of forgot about that, I won't lie, when I was doing the build, and then I'm like, I have all the pieces and bits and pieces from those packs, but I don't actually have the things that you can actually do for the actual activity. So I did eventually add that in later, because I just felt like I kept on forgetting things and having to go back and like add them, because I also forgot to do like any sort of landscaping because I knew that I wanted to move the house from the lot that I have it on currently, just because I feel like this lot is like super big for the house, and like I didn't want to have to do a bunch of stuff in the backyard or anything. I just wanted it to be like a house on its own and not really anything going on in the back, really, basically because I just didn't want to have to do anything in the back. And I also figured like with such a small house there probably wouldn't be much going on there. I did try to add in some like windows and stuff on that part of the roofing because I wanted the roofing to still have that like angular shape to it, but I just couldn't figure out anything that would really fit really well. So I eventually do just change the roof, like right here. So, because I know I always like feel like I struggle with the roofing sometimes because I have certain ideas of what I want it to look like in my head, and it just doesn't happen that way. So I'm not completely happy with the roofing because obviously, as you can see here, like I had to do a lot of different adjusting and everything to it for it to like make sense again after changing the greenhouse roof to a glass roof. And I'm honestly, obviously, I did not include any sort of fireplace or anything in the build. I literally was just using that to kind of cover up some of the nonsense that was the roof. Because even the original roof had a little piece of it that didn't really make any sense. So I'm just trying to cover the mess up. And I also felt like the front of the house was just lacking in some ways. It just wasn't looking like there was something missing. So I did try to add in some windows, and I think that it ended up making it look a lot better. And I just did add in a couple of bits and pieces. Like I added in this little like hanging tree plant situation. And I went around to see if like I could add any more windows, but the only place that really I would be able to add in a window is the bathroom, which obviously we want to limit the amount of windows in the bathroom because it's a bathroom. And you want to have your privacy, obviously. And I did not include any sort of curtains or anything in the house because I felt like obviously with them being like a plant person and whatnot, they would want as much lighting coming in. Obviously, I don't feel like I really put that many plants in the actual house, because I also didn't want it to be too like clumped up together. So I just made that decision to limit how many plants I had. And also I didn't want it to be, I knew that obviously I was not paying attention to the pricing of anything, because as you can see here already, it is over 20,000 simoleons already, which, you know, for a single sim, that is way too expensive. When you're just first starting out, you would have to literally save up for that. So I also didn't want to, because I wasn't really paying attention to the pricing of it at all. So I didn't want to kind of go crazy with that because I knew that it was already most likely like over budget or over like a starter home budget anyway. So I was trying to limit how much bits and pieces I added because I almost didn't add any sort of decorations into the bathroom, but I did eventually later go back and add in a couple of little bits and pieces to make the bathroom look a little bit more lived in and nicer than just like a plain bathroom. But I think in all it turned out pretty well, of especially with the fact that I literally went into it with like little to no planning. So I think it turned out pretty good. Maybe not, but I am just gonna tell myself that it was pretty good. And I didn't know what to do in the kitchen because I felt that, like, the kitchen needed a little bit more something. So I tried to add in just like a little bit of a corner piece of like upper cabinet situation going on. I was originally just going to put in the little corner shelving that comes with the Home Chef cabinet situation, but it looked like it was still like bare and didn't really fit very well in that area. So I kind of just made like my own little makeshift little small corner shelving situation there. So it does overlap and you can kind of see, I mean, right now the swatches aren't matching, so that's not helpful, but even once I make the swatches match, you can obviously still see a little bit of the glitching and everything. So but I tried to like cover it up with like just adding in like bits and pieces here and there to kind of cover it a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I don't mind like the slight glitching and stuff, just because I feel like once you're like actually playing in the game anyways, you're probably not going to notice too much. Maybe you're a lot more observant than I am, but I think it was fine by the end. But I just added in a couple of bits and pieces, mainly from Home Chef, the Home Chef Hustle, whatever it's called. And then I added in a little bit more from like the greenhouse kit situation too. Since I was already using a good bit of those packs, I felt like I might as well just use more of those packs instead of adding in a bunch of other packs and everything to it. I did also add in the little alarm situation. Since we now have burglars, my brain keeps on freezing, I promise you, like, my gosh. But I did add that in. I have not actually played to see how the burglars function. I have watched like one video of Lilsimsie talking about the update and kind of showing the update, but she used the new trait that obviously makes it happen more often than normal. So I will have to see. And I honestly was like watching it as like background noise too, so I wasn't fully watching the video. So I'll have to see how it works myself. But I'm kind of excited about that. Of like, I feel like it's bringing back some of the old Sims spirit. So that's kind of exciting. But I'm pretty much just adding in a few bits and pieces here to just make the house look a little bit lived in. For the front porch situation, I ended up not putting a full fence around the whole entire front porch just because I felt like it looked better not having the full fence around it and just a bit of the fence on the edge or on the sides. So I did do that, and then I added in just a little bit of shrubbery. I wanted to really add in a bush in the front because I felt like that would help, like, you know, give the house a little something. But I just wasn't liking any of the bushes. I tried and I could not find anything that I really liked in there. So I just went bushless for the very front, but I did put like some things on the side and the front of the sides of the house, if that makes any sense. You'll see. Obviously, because I'm just talking about it ahead of time because I know that there's not that much longer in the video, and I know that I can get really long-winded like I am right now. And so I figured I might as well talk about it a little bit ahead of time. So I obviously, as you can see, I switched it over to, it's still in Newcrest, but I switched it over to one of the 20 by 15 lots so that it kind of looks, I think it looks so much better on this lot because it fills in the space a lot better, where it's not like a bunch of space with such a small house. So, and I just added in a big tree in the back so I didn't have to worry about decorating in the back. And as you can see, I try to fool around with some of the bushes and stuff that are in debug, but it just wasn't working for me, and so I gave up on that. And I don't think it's my best work as far as landscaping, but you know, it did the job. It did the job, and I really like the house, like, as a whole. It's just obviously, you know, the landscaping could probably use a little bit of work. But you know, landscaping is not my, you know, forte. I'm still working on that aspect. But anyways, the video is coming to an end here shortly. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this build, and I definitely plan on making more builds, and I'm going to try my best to be even more consistent with my videos, because I pretty much only missed this 1 week. I think I've been doing pretty well aside from this last week, but I plan on definitely continuing with consistency. So hopefully you guys will catch more of my videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!